to the next election, or if there is a rerun election, they will still do the same thing Odita. A Nigerian lawyer, Professor Fidelis Odita, has noted that come next election, or if there's a rerun election in the country, the Nigerian electorate will still do the same thing they have been doing over the years by voting the same people who have enslaved them, noting that Nigerians can't continue to behave in the same way and expect change. He made the disclosure when he was being interviewed on Channels Television and was reacting to a report that the lawmakers are to share the sum of 70 billion naira amongst themselves, while citizens will receive the sum of 8,000 naira monthly. He said, come to the next election, or if there is a rerun, they will still do the same thing. You can't continue to behave the same way and expect change to come your way. Speaking about the removal of fuel subsidy and the increase in pump price of petrol, Professor Odita noted that the price of petrol is relatively cheap in Nigeria, and even now that the price has gone up to about 600 naira, noting that it is difficult to buy fuel below $1 in any country. He went on and claimed that fuel is sold above $1 in the United States, Saudi Arabia, and in some European countries. Okay, and so how does that make sense? Why? I don't understand. We can't just make blanket statements like that and say, well, they sell fuel for over $1 in America, so why can't it be the same in Nigeria? And I'm like, what an uneducated comment, because where do you even start to explain to this individual how in no way are these comparable at all, right? It just doesn't make sense. That was a low one towards the end. I mean, that in itself is very, very, very triggering. And especially as him being a lawyer, very interesting. This demonic INEC chairman is the evil that Lucifer is using to destroy Nigeria. If the judges want this country to move forward, let them sack Yakubu. He should not conduct any election for Nigeria. He has no conscience. It is not about conscience. I do not give a damn if you are a good or bad or religious, moral person. I don't care. The fact is, when you're in the institution, in the constitution, or in government, what you uphold, the rule book, what is meant to keep you accountable should keep you accountable. It's not about conscience, because you are now depending on someone's personal will and moral compass to decide if they will do good or not. How would you hold someone to their conscience and say, oh, but your conscience said that you should do good, so great. What if their conscience said they should do bad? What now happens? So it's like having that personal touch of responsibility does not make sense when you have people in government, right? When something to be performed is a duty, it doesn't matter your feelings, you have to get it done. Who enslaved Nigerians? Are you not the one of them who kept mute when subsidy scam was on? Interesting. The phrase that Nigerians continue to enslave themselves, I think Nigerians have been enslaved, right? And you can say that Nigerians, instead of unlocking, the chains or the padlocks, they are adding more locks to it. Because you already think you're enslaved, you feel hopeless, there's nothing else to do. So what happens? Things progressively have gone worse, but we let it happen by agreeing, right? By voting in or choosing even not to vote, right? There you add more locks, because the more people come into power, the more they do whatever they want are unquestioned, the more they enslave Nigerians. That means Nigerians themselves enable their enslavement, if that makes sense. Because you cannot tell me Nigerians know what is good for them. I mean, you literally had, I am not saying Nigeria has had saints and angels as political candidates, but you can definitely tell, given how polarized these elections are, that if you put something good and bad in front of Nigerians, you can't expect that good will be chosen. That's what it is. Not that it won't be, but what Nigerians must have been asking for over the years, when it's right in front of them, they don't even recognize it. Interesting. Even with this level of anger against Tinubu and INEC by the masses, you must be joking, as the envisaged anarchy and Holocaust will not fail to take place if they try to rig again. But that's the thing. Again, Nigerians are not really... We're not really ready. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to our people, but all we do is talk. Not saying that we are not capable, but our actions have not seen in the right direction so far. We claim to be very aggressive people, very this is that people who don't take this, who don't take that. But what it is that we are oppressed and we are oppressors, right? So what you find is an average Nigerian just being overpowered, but would also overpower their neighbor at the same time, right? So then, because Nigerians are seen in places of, situations where they look to be domineering, okay, great, but you're domineering to where it is needed to those that are oppressing you. So Nigerians talk a lot. So saying there's going to be anarchy, there'll be this, there'll be that, is like, relax. How many elections will go past? You say the same thing, but you don't do anything. Please. But I think I don't forget to like and subscribe.